Hi, and welcome to the next edition of Sweet Deck Lists. I got 5 of. I got 2 decks to talk about today, one of which is Leslie Humans, and the other one is, of course, a sweet deck featuring Brand New Thunder's Junction cards. If you like this series, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification to our future videos. Comment down below what deck you think is the sweetest of the two, and what one would you want to take up for a spin. The links are in the description, as well as the links to my locals, Patreon, and all that stuff. So if you want to help support my content, you can do so down in the comment section. Plus, you get extra content. Let's get into the 2 decks. So the first deck I want to talk about is Selesnya Humans. This deck picked up green for Werewolf Pack Leader, the Experiment one, and a couple copies of Collected Company, which is really good against matchups where they might wrath you. So it's also pretty decent against the Amalia matchup because they will wrath the board post Amalia before they attack. Or after attacks you are declared, you can just collect the company, hopefully protect your life. So for the lethal attack. So that is a possibility. I'm surprised this deck is only playing 2 copies of it. We're not playing Thalia, so actually we are. So I guess that's the reason why we're only playing 2, because it is a Namba with Thalia. We're also playing the 3-drop Thalia, which is a very interesting choice. I'm not really sure if she's necessarily great in the current meta, but besides that, like I said, we have the stock humans pay cards with Initiate, Bodyguard, Vanguard, Lieutenant, plus Adeline. The removal of choice, of course, as of late has been Get Lost, because it does answer creatures, planeswalkers, and enchantments. Of course, this deck wants the ability to have a grindy matchup if it's required, and Coco does do a good job at that. This deck is playing 4 copies of Cavern of Souls, so that way we can still cast a Werewolf Pack Leader on turn 2. Uncounterable. Sideboard, we do have 4 Pick Your Poisons for the Vampire matchup. Plus gets, Fable, Ensoul artifacts. We can get the Ensoul. 3 portable holes for aggro. Another Get Lost for mid-range and control. So decent removal spell there. 2 priests also can get the creativity and Sorin Vein Ripper combo. 2 peacekeepers in case we want to cut something like Thalia or Adeline for something that could tax our opponent. If we need a little bit more removal, we can bring in Brutal Cathars. So again, Thalia is probably the one you're going to cut there, just because she is a 3-drop in the same point of the curve as Brutal Cathar, but you kind of want the extra spot removal. We have Coco also for grindy matchups, so that works out quite well. Probably we can also, like I said, we can trim down on the least impactful humans, and then go up the Collected Company and the Peacekeepers, and maybe even possibly Get Lost. So that is Selesnya Humans. Let's get into the next list. So next on my list is a Boros mid-range deck. This deck is utilizing the brand new card Collector's Cage. We have a decent amount of stuff that makes creatures. Weirdly enough, looks like a lot of the stuff it has 2 power. Dust Legion's Duelist, Kithian. We have a Kimono, Skyclave. So like these are all 2 power and 1 power stuff with Giant Killer, Thrabes. There's a little bit of redundancy there when it comes to trying to get your 3 different creatures with different power. NT does help a lot in this situation, so we can boost input by giving something a counter. Dust Legion Zealot Duelist is probably one of the best cards for the Collector's Cage, because every time you put a counter on it, I think it's once per turn, you get to draw a card. Of course, Amiria's Call is the best land in conjunction with Collector's Cage. Just being able to kite away and cast that spell and get 2 4/4s, quite powerful. We have Wandering Emperor, pretty good mid-range piece there. Can make yourself bigger, can produce extra bodies, and a little bit of removal. We have Dracosaur for the grindiest matchups as the top end, so it's still actually castable in those matchups. But at the same time, sometimes you can just put that underneath a Collector's Cage and you will be perfectly happy with that result. Sideboard, we do have 2 tiers of Valakut for Ripper, Shredder, and those kind of flyers. 3 invasions for mid-range, which have heavy amounts of removal. So you can push those out, or combo decks, push out the combo piece. But pushing out sweepers and removal later in the game, it does protect your creatures after you flip it. 2 Get Lost for a little bit of removal for planeswalkers and enchantments. 1 Redain to push off Lotus Field and Rafts. Then we have 3 High Noons because it prevents Lotus Field from being really good. It also helps against Phoenix and stuff like that, where they cast a lot of spells to execute their game plan. 2 Lightning Helixes for aggro with Portable Hole. The benefit of Helix, of course, is you gain 3 life, which can help bridge that matchup in your favor by just gaining that 3 extra life, becoming more of a mid-range pile, right? Because this deck is a Boros mid-range deck. That is the deck we had to talk about today. So which one was your favorite? Both these lists will be in the description. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.